The health belief model and the trans-theoretical model have helped us see what attitudes, beliefs, and actions influence individual behavior change. Now let's look at the social context and the environment in which individual behavior occurs. We'll define environment as the social environment of family members, friends, and peers at school or work, the physical environment of urban slums or wealthy suburbs, and availability or unavailability of healthy foods, and the political and policy environment. For example, politics and regulation might be hostile to women's rights or opposed to hydrofracking or in favor of e-cigarette regulation. Keep in mind that a person is constantly altering all of his environments, and reciprocally, his environments are constantly altering him. According to yet another model, the person and his environments are in dynamic interrelationship. So you can see why changing elements in his surrounding environments is likely to change a person's behavior. The social ecological model of health behavior is useful to us because it shows us how interventions, changes made to a person's social, physical, and policy environments, can help the individual change his behavior and adopt healthier habits. The idea is if you change the environment, you change the person. As you'll recall, we already examined intrapersonal factors, the individual's knowledge, attitudes, beliefs, skills, and actions at great length when we discussed the health belief model and the trans-theoretical model of behavior. So now we'll examine 5 environmental factors which influence behavior and which round out the social ecological model. Refer to the diagram on page 229 of your textbook and note the concentric circles and how the arrows point. Each outer circle influences all the circles within it, and all of the circles influence the innermost, labeled intrapersonal factors. Intrapersonal factors. Intra is a prefix meaning within. Intrapersonal refers to the individual's knowledge, attitudes, beliefs, skills, and actions. Interpersonal factors. Inter is a prefix meaning between. Interpersonal refers to between persons, values, opinions, and traditions shared between and among family, friends, cliques, clubs, gangs, and coworkers. An example of a public health intervention on the interpersonal level is educating parents on how to talk to their teens about alcohol and drugs. Institutional factors. Schools and workplaces are examples of institutions where we spend a good deal of our time, and we're influenced by what goes on there. Let's say by the institutional culture. Here are some examples of interventions on the institutional level to address the overweight and obesity issue. To demonstrate to kids that food shouldn't be thought of as a reward, some schools are encouraging parents to exchange non-food items for sweets when celebrating their children's birthdays in the classroom. Educators know that dietary habits are learned early on, and that healthier students perform better in school. Workplaces, too, are offering healthier cafeteria food, lunchtime workout sessions, and in some cases free gym memberships. Like educators, employers recognize that healthier workers are likely to be more productive workers. Community factors. Organizations in a community often work together toward healthier community goals. These are some examples of interventions on the community level. A local chamber of commerce calls together all its business members to advertise its Healthy 2015 campaign. Members share and disseminate healthy workplace policies and practices. The chamber sponsors community walks, runs, and meetups at local restaurants that feature healthy menu choices. Also, communities regularly hold food drives to collect non-perishable items for needy residents, and they hold soup kitchens to serve hot meals for those in need. Public policy. These are governmental laws and regulations on national, state, and local levels, which limit unhealthy, unsafe behaviors and promote healthy ones. Public policy interventions include laws that restrict smoking, the sale of alcohol to minors, the use of marijuana, and promote clean needle exchange. Public policy is often controversial. Let's see why. American culture and democratic society emphasize individual rights, freedom, and liberty to do what one chooses, as long as our behavior doesn't harm others. To control behaviors that can potentially harm others, we enact public health laws or regulations that protect the public by restricting or incentivizing certain individual behaviors. For example, to protect other travelers, we pass drunken driving laws that restrict people who have been drinking from getting behind the wheel. To protect young travelers, if kids' safety isn't already incentive enough, we pass child car seat laws that incentivize drivers to buy and install car seats to avoid getting a ticket. When individual behaviors don't directly harm others, we tend to avoid making laws that restrict individual behavior. Actually, the sum of many people's choices to allow themselves to become overweight or obese, while it may not harm others directly, nevertheless harms us all indirectly. Illness and disability resulting from obesity drain resources on our healthcare system. One way to preserve healthcare dollars through obesity prevention is to limit calories. Sodas are high in calories, have no nutritional value, and are being sold cheaply by large corporations in larger and larger sizes. A corporate regulation was passed in New York City to help curb obesity in the city. Fast food establishments were restricted from selling 16-ounce and larger soft drinks. The beverage industry and proponents of individual rights saw this regulation as an infringement on their freedoms, and the regulation was repealed.